Welcome to Wander Israel. These videos that I'm creating ahead of my trip are all about practicing and getting used to using this equipment, all the ins and outs, the pros and cons, and getting practice in front of the camera. I'm not used to being in front of a camera. I'm not particularly comfortable with it. And this is a good challenge. It's a good challenge to practice storytelling, to not have an audience, and also to make sure that I am delivering my message clearly and to speak slowly. I generally, when I get excited, I'll start speaking really quickly, and this is a chance for me to just keep in mind that I need to slow down and speak clearly. So, with that in mind, let's do some practicing by talking about books. Now, you don't need a book to go to Israel. There's plenty of great information online, but I do like books, so I'm going to share some of my favorites. This one is called The Holy Land for Christian Travelers by John Beck. If you want to get a book, but you only want one, this is the one to get. It starts off with some sample itineraries that'll give you, that has just the number of days you're going to be in Israel, and I'll have a list for every itinerary of where you should go. So, for example, we have this 5-day itinerary, and day 1 is Old City of Jerusalem, and it'll have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Garden Tomb, and so on. So each of these items has an article later in the book, so you can go flip back to the book and read more about it. And each of the articles will tell you historical information, archaeological information, and biblical connections. This is a fantastic book. It's easy to read, well written, so I definitely recommend this. But if you do want a little more detail, think about this one too. I like this book, Ultimate Guide to the Holy Land. Now this is it literally is a small textbook. When you open it up, you'll just be amazed that the font is tiny. It's kind of hard to read, but the information is fantastic. This is a collection of articles. Each article is 2 or 3 pages, and it's on people, places, and things. That's actually how it's organized. So here it's talking about how older adults are cared for in the first century, what they did, and the responsibility of their kids. All the articles are outstanding, very well written, and then it has footnotes for all of them if you need more information. So this is a terrific reference to use as well. This book is popular. I didn't use it as much, but I did get a copy because it was recommended. Dyer and Hatterberg are the authors, The Christian Traveler's Guide to the Holy Land. It's a little bit redundant for me compared to the John Beck book, so that's why I didn't use it, but it basically has every location, a brief paragraph, and some historical and biblical references with some pictures. So it's an okay book, and it wasn't one of my favorites. If you are looking for a fun book, and you don't have to go to Israel to actually get this book, I recommend it, is Wayne Stiles' Walking in the Footsteps of Jesus. He has led several trips to Israel, and this is just talking about his experiences and what he would imagine Jesus' experiences would be like at these locations. Just a fun read, really. I read it in a couple of days. It's a really easy read. Definitely recommend it, even if you're not going to Israel. Now, I got a digital copy of this book also that I'm going to be using on my trip. Devotional Treasures from the Holy Land, Encountering God Through Scripture, Archaeology, and Historical Geography of Israel. So this is organized by location, and let me pull up the iPad here so you can see what it's really going to show you. So our example here is looking at Jerusalem, the Western Wall, and so it starts with a scripture reference, and then it'll give you like a welcome section, what you can expect to see here, the context of the Western Wall, meaning its history and what's going on around it, scriptural encounters. It looks like a really interesting book. I haven't read very many sections of it, but I'm really enjoying the ones that I have read, so I'm totally looking forward to digging more into that on the actual trip. I just got this book too. It looks really, really good. I haven't dug into it very much. Jerome Murphy O'Connor's The Holy Land and Oxford Archaeological Guide. This is focused on archaeology. It's an older book, but it has a lot of really detailed information. So I'm going to cross-reference this with where I'm actually going to go to see what kind of information it gives me in addition to what I already know. So I'm excited about digging into this. I'll tell you more about this in another video or an email. Now, I will, of course, have my Bible. This is an ESV, and that's like kind of a given. But I bring this up to bring up, I've had this Bible for a while. This is an archaeological study Bible. It's an NIV version. But what's great about this is that, apart from, of course, just being a Bible, it has contextual information. So here in Judges 3:1, there's a section down here called Archaeological Sites, Eglon's Palace, and I'll have a brief description of it. So it's really cool. It does this for the entire, all throughout the Bible, which is why it's so big. I am not going to carry this. It is too heavy, but I will refer to it and take notes. Also good reference books that I'm not going to take with me. The New Moody Atlas of the Bible. This is kind of a historical reference. It has a lot of a narrative and then maps to go with it. So this will be a fun read. So like for here it's talking about territorial inheritances, and then it highlights the promised land, and then the trade routes that are going through it. So really, really neat. So I'll probably be referring to this as well. Another really good reference book, Rose Book of Bible charts, maps, and timelines. I love maps, by the way. And, I guess what guy doesn't love maps? But for example, here's a chart of Noah's Ark. It's got a lot of information like this. Just a terrific reference book to have on hand in general. So I would definitely recommend that. Now, because I have extra time, I'm going to be exploring more fun things too. So I have my two secular guides, Inside Guides to Israel and Lonely Planets, Israel and the Palestinian Territories, both very good books. Has a lot of information on restaurants and hotels and other things to do besides historical places to visit. So those are the books that I'm primarily using. And as I get more information and more books, and as I start digging into a lot of these books, I'll certainly give you an update. But I just want to give you that brief overview. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.